But anyways, thank you all for being here with us. I'm just weird. I'm a weird guy. It's 3 hours in. I'm starting to get a little crazy, and we've got a long night ahead of us. We've still got more interviews with candidates. We've got more battleground rundowns and a lot more exciting stuff coming throughout the next couple hours. But first, Georgia, what are we looking at?
So one of the biggest polling trends that we've been watching this season is the Latino vote. And we saw a number of Republicans win races in the heavily Hispanic Rio Grande Valley just earlier this summer. And there are a lot of indications that the Democrat lead with Latinos has shrunk significantly. And there was a recent poll out of the Wall Street Journal that found Republicans within 5 points of Democrats among Latino voters, which, by the way, is historic.
Yeah.
And Cabot, you got a chance to talk to someone very special earlier today who represents that shifting Latino vote.
I did. I got the chance to talk to Congresswoman Mayra Flores. Now, she won that special election in Texas's 34th congressional district about a year ago. She's up for re-election in a newly redrawn district. But the reason that she was so important, it's not just any house race that happened. Her district, the 34th district in Texas, had not gone to a Republican since 1870. 1870. And she was the one that came in. It's a heavily Hispanic district, one of the, I believe it's the second highest population of Hispanic voters in the country for any district. So for a Republican to have success there, initially people said, well, it's an outlier. But she is saying that this is something that is actually going to have national implications. We're starting to see more polling data bear that out. So tonight, she says that we could see a red wave among the Latino community. Here's what she said in our conversation earlier today. Joining us now is Texas Congresswoman Mayra Flores. Congresswoman, thanks for making time for us.
Absolutely. Very exciting day, election day.
I saw on Twitter this morning that you tweeted a photo of a big red wave. It was sort of a red tsunami. Walk me through why you're so optimistic. Why are you, so confident that we're going to see that red wave today?
Well, I'm very confident in my district. My South Texas has always been very conservative. We're people of God, people of family, people of hard work. We have always been conservative. It's in our DNA. It runs in our blood. I was born in Mexico, raised with those values, and I came here to the United States when I was 6 years old, and those values still live in me. And I want to make sure that our conservative values live in our children and the future generations. And that is just who we are in South Texas. I'm not surprised to see what's happening in South Texas, but I'm very happy, that for all the love and support that we're getting from the entire district. But the impact that we're going to have here in South Texas isn't just going to impact South Texas. It's going to impact the entire nation.
So let's talk about your district in specifics. What is the number one issue that you see voters there bringing up the most? When you're talking to them on the trail, what are the one or two things that they're most concerned with?
The economy, inflation, and border security. Those are the top three issues in my district and in the entire country. And we're not the exception. We're all hurting tremendously. I met a single mom who said that for the first time she had to get a loan to buy her kids school supplies and school clothes for the first time, and is now paying a 24% interest rate on that loan and doesn't have enough money at the end of the month to pay for that loan. These are the issues that are hurting tremendously the American people. And not just, single moms, of course, our elderly community, families all across this nation. We don't have the money that we had 2-3 years ago. We're not able to provide for our families, for our children, the life that we were able to 2-3 years ago. And we want our lives back,
One thing that we've noticed about your race in particular that's been very interesting and has a lot of people in the media kind of has their heads exploding where they see the way that you campaign on immigration. You talk about having a strong border. You talk about your husband being in Border Patrol. And a lot of, I think, outside observers kind of thought that message would not resonate with Hispanic and Latino voters. Clearly it has, though. Why do you think that is?
Well, because we live in South Texas, we see what's happening, in our backyards. I'm from Tamaulipas. Most of the people here in South Texas are also from Tamaulipas. We have families in Tamaulipas that we're not able to visit as often because of the criminal organizations that have taken over the southern border. So we know that illegal immigration is funding these criminal organizations that have taken the peace away from people of Mexico and also have taken us, the liberty to visit our loved ones. So, we don't need to see it on the news. It's in our backyard. how dangerous our borders are, and how, women and children are being abused by these criminal organizations. We want to defund the cartel. Our opponent, they want to defund the police. We have to secure our borders and allow our Border Patrol agents. And by the way, most of our Border Patrol agents are Hispanics. They're our sons, daughters, they're our familia. So when they disrespect our men and women in Border Patrol and law enforcement, they're disrespecting our family.
So in closing, what does a Republican majority in the House mean for pushing back against President Biden? For Republicans at home who are wondering, what is taking the House do for us? Walk us through what that would look like having a Republican majority.
So I believe that we need to put the American people's best interests first and not what's best for a political party. We need to strengthen the economy for everyone. We need to bring down inflation. We need to secure the borders. These are the top three issues that we need to work very hard and take care of these issues first before we move forward to anything. We have to impeach Mayorkas. That is part of securing the border. We have to remove him and put the right person in that position that is actually going to stand up for our men and women. We need someone to stand with our Border Patrol agents, with our law enforcement. So he needs to be impeached. Now, a lot of people have brought up to me, well, do you believe in impeaching Biden? Look, I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris either. So she's just as useless. So it's a waste of time. Let's get to it. Let's strengthen our economy. Let's reduce inflation, and let's secure our borders and put pressure on the Biden administration to do so as well.
All right. Well, Congresswoman, we appreciate you making time today on this election day. Good luck today. We're really pulling for you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.
God bless you.
All right. That's Congresswoman Mayra Flores of the state of Texas.